Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is September 30th, 2022, and we are in the New Testament. We're in the book of Luke. We're going to read chapter 22, verse 1 to 46 today. So in Luke's gospel, where are we at? Well, we're in the events of the Passion Week, the last week of Jesus before he's crucified. We've actually come to Thursday night, Thursday evening, Thursday day, however you want to decide when these things happen, and we get to the Passover meal that he has. Right before that, Judas decides he's going to go betray Jesus. We don't know why exactly. It seems to imply that it's because of the monies involved. He tells Peter and James, hey, you know what? Go, just like he did with the colt and the foal. Hey, go into this town. Go to the first place you see and tell them that, hey, the Lord wants this room for his Passover, and they're going to agree to let you have it. As part of that Passover meal, he institutes what we call the Lord's Supper, or the Eucharist, or communion, which is that memorial that we have as Christians, that we remember Jesus' sacrifice, and we all share in this moment. The disciples start to get in an argument over which one's greatest, so we see again here, even right at the very end, that the disciples still don't quite get what Jesus is telling them. They're better off than most people, but they still don't quite get it. That doesn't really come until after Jesus' crucifixion. And we get a really good example of that because he's talking to Peter and saying, hey, you know what, Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times, but be strong. You're going to deny me, be strong, and you will come back. And Peter says, oh, no. He's like, no, you're going to deny me 3 times. No, you're going to do it. You have to do it. You got to go through that rite of passage so that you're ready when I come back to say, oh, I was wrong, I'm sorry, forgive me, and you go back to that love. So let's go ahead and we're going to read. Oh, and we see at the end that there's the prayer on the Gethsemane, where we see Jesus' humanity come out in full force, where he's like, man, you know what? This is going to suck, and I don't want to do it. But you know what, God? It's part of the plan, and I know I have to, so give me the strength, and let's get this done. So let's go ahead, and we're going to read Luke chapter 22, 1 through 46. Now the feast of the unleavened bread drew near, which is called Passover, and the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people. Then Satan entered Judas, surnamed Iscariot, who was numbered among the 12. So he went his way and conferred with the chief priests and captain, how he might betray him to them. And they were glad and agreed to give him money. So he promised and sought opportunity to betray him to them in the absence of the multitude. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed, and he sent Peter and John, saying, go and prepare the Passover for us that we may eat. So they said to him, where do you want us to prepare? And he said to them, behold, when you have entered the city, a man will meet you carrying a pitcher of water. Follow him into the house which he enters. Then you will say to the master of the house, the teacher says to you, where is the guest room where I may eat the Passover with my disciples? And then he will show you a large furnished upper room. There make ready. So they went and found it just as he had said to them, and they prepared the Passover. When the hour had come, he sat down, and the 12 apostles with him. Then he said to them, with fervent desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I say to you, I will no longer eat of it until it is fulfilled in the kingdom of God. Then he took the cup, and he gave thanks, and said, take this, and divide it among yourselves. For I say to you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God comes. And he took bread, gave thanks, and broke it, and gave it to them, saying, this is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Likewise, he also took the cup after supper, saying, this cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is shed for you. But behold, the hand of my betrayer is with me on the table. And truly the Son of Man goes as it has been determined, but woe to the man by whom he is betrayed. Then they began to question among themselves which of them it was who would do this thing. Now there was also a dispute among them as to which of them should be considered the greatest. And he said to them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and those who exercise authority over them are called benefactors, but not so among you. On the contrary, he who is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he who governs as he who serves. For who is greater, he who sits at the table or he who serves? Is it not he who sits at the table? Yet I am among you as the one who serves. But you are those who have continued with me in my trials, and I bestow upon you a kingdom, just as my Father bestowed one upon me, that you may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, indeed Satan has asked for you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for you that your faith should not fail, and when you have returned to me, strengthen your brethren. And he said to him, Lord, I am ready to go with you both to prison and to death. Then he said, I tell you, Peter, the rooster shall not crow this day before you will deny me 3 times that you know me. And he said to them, When I sent you without money bag, knapsack, and sandals, did you lack anything? So they said, Nothing. Then he said to them, But now he who has a money bag, let him take it, and likewise a knapsack. And he who has no sword, let him sell his garments and buy one. For I say to you that this which is written must still be accomplished in me. And he was numbered with the transgressors. For the things concerning me have an end. So they said, Lord, look, here are 2 swords. And he said to them, It is enough. Coming out, he went to the Mount of Olives, as he was accustomed, and his disciples also followed him. When he came to the place, he said to them, Pray that you may not enter into temptation. And he was withdrawn from them about a stone's throw, and he knelt down and prayed, saying, Father, if it is your will, take this cup away from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Then an angel appeared to him from heaven, strengthening him. And being in agony, he prayed more earnestly. Then his sweat became like great drops of blood falling down to the ground. When he rose up from prayer and had come to his disciples, he found them sleeping from sorrow. Then he said to them, Why do you sleep? Rise and pray, lest you enter into temptation. May God bless the reading of his word, and may God bless you. Bye.